Disclaimer: I don't condone throwing shoes off of roller coaster rides. Also, I want to make it clear that Emerald/Tato Park is a great park, and I don't mean to disrespect them in any way. Anyway, onto the video. So last year, I left the school me and my best friend met in. If you don't know him, his name is Zach, and the moment of us saying goodbye to each other was surprisingly unemotional. It's kind of just your average, okay, see you later. You may be wondering, why was it like this? Well, I'll tell you, it's because we were going to Emerald Park the next day. Emerald Park is just an Irish theme park, but it's cool. One of the parents or school staff set up that everyone who left the school that year would be able to go. It was optional, of course. And at first I was like, ain't no way I'm going there. But then I thought to myself, I've never really been on a roller coaster before. The only other one I was on was just one of those cheap ones, and there was only one. So I decided to go, to face my fears. So, the day of reckoning came. Me and my dad got into the car to go and collect one of my other friends who was going, who I'll call that guy. Got into the car and we went to collect Zach, but it turns out he was getting to the park by himself. So after a long drive, we got to the park, we got tickets, and met up with Zach. That guy decided he was going to go on some rides with his friends, which is understandable, so now it's just me and Zach, and it's time for us to go on our first coaster. It was the spinning chair thing. On the website it's called the Celtic Dreamer. By the way, almost everything in this park is Celtic themed. And it looks like this. The chairs would spin around and they would slowly get higher into the air. I went on this alone. I think Zach didn't want to go on it. I was scared at first, but I started to get more confident and I could go on it with ease. After the ride, a couple women came up to me asking if I wanted to go on a roller coaster with them. I knew these people from my school and I was friendly with them, so I thought, sure, I'll go. The one we went on was one of the big boy ones. It was the Quest, which was like a less extreme version of that one. We'll get into that later. I don't remember much about the ride, but from what I remember, it started off with it slowly going backwards up this ramp. And when it got to the top, it shot you back down with extreme speed, starting the coaster. And then midway through, it called back to this by having you go up another ramp, this time forwards, and you fall back down. I was shaking at the end of that, but my adrenaline was raised, so I decided to go back to Zach and play Shoot the Hoops with him. We found one of these like carnival games that made you play Shoot the Hoops to win prizes. These are always rigged, so I told Zach that he should probably not do it, but Zach wanted to take a risk. He lost every time, so he gave up until we found another one of those games. This one was a game where you threw a tennis ball at something. I don't really remember, but a thing I do remember is that Zach lost again, and while we were leaving, I told the game runners that their game was rigged and a scam. Zach wanted to get one of those prizes for his mum, but since he lost, he couldn't do that. I really hate those games. Anyway, so we were walking around again and we decided to get some lunch. We met up with that guy and went to this cool restaurant in the park. There was a long line, but it was worth it because the food was good. The restaurant seemed like it was in this cool place in the park that seemed kind of like a small town. There was a zoo that me and Zach went to, a playground, and there was even a train. We of course got on the train and it was pretty relaxing. We ended up back at the station and met some of our friends from the school. I'll call these people Hydrogen Bomb and Abacus. I won't exactly call ourselves friends. We have had some beef in the past, but we were mutual, I guess. They asked if we wanted to go to this ride called Flight School, which I thought was perfect because Zach says he wants to be a pilot when he grows up. So we went there, and this ride was a bit more extreme. It tilted around, went underneath the building, I think, and I was scared, but I reluctantly got on the ride, and I discovered that I'm great at screaming! It was a pretty fun ride. I think we got on it more than once, so it seems like I was becoming more tolerant of the roller coasters. Foreshadowing. We decided to go on another ride called the Giant Spinny Thing. What do you mean it's not called that? Alright, fine, it's called the Endeavor, and it's kind of like the Celtic Dreamer, just amped up to 11. I remember seeing one of my friends after they went on it, and they were like, dude, you gotta go on it, it's so good. And I was like, I'd never do that, and now I'm here. Huh. This is probably the second scariest ride that I went on. When looking at the footage of it, it doesn't look too bad, but when you're in it, you feel like you're gonna die. It feels like your stomach is constantly switching directions because it is. I remember when I put my head out a bit too far, it would just get pushed down by the wind and I thought I'd break my neck. Also, during the ride, one of Zach's shoes accidentally fell off and flew into the crowd of people. Unfortunately, no one was hurt. And when we got off the ride, we found the shoe, and then some 40-year-old salad fingers looking guy asks, "You want help tying your shoes?" I like rusty spoons. And then Zach says, nah, I'm good. And then we left anyway. We were kind of confuddled about what we should do next, and that's when Hydrogen Bomb and Abacus suggested that we go on the Fianna Force, which is the latest and scariest ride in the entire park. And me and Zach said, hell no. Come on, do it. No. You stupid chicken. We couldn't run forever because we'd get tired, and we decided that we should go on the ride. We walked up to the line, waited for a very long time, talking with some people there. We were so close to the front that we could taste the seats. Ew. And that's when we noticed something. Hydrogen Bomb and Abacus both left the line, and we were both alone. We were quite annoyed about this, but it was too late. It was our turn to go. And for some goddamn reason, we decided to get in the front seats to get the clearest view of everything. You know that method of calming yourself down on a roller coaster by counting the bolts on the back of the seat in front of you? Thanks to Tosin Newell for telling me that. There were no bolts to count. The ride started. I was regretting my life choices. I was also regretting my life choices of getting on this ride. That one song from Sonic 2 was playing in my head. And before I knew it, we were at the top. Okay, we didn't die, physically at least. The ride all went to plan. At the end of it, I was even screaming at the employees not to start the ride again. But thankfully, it was all over. Or so I thought. Hydrogen Bomb and Abacus thought we should go on another ride. Cuchulainn. This ride. According to Zach, it looks like it was made out of toothpicks. And I can't say he's wrong. We said we would go, but before that, we wanted to take one last ride. On the Celtic Dreamer. We had gone on this ride 5 times already, I forgot to mention that, but this time we wanted to spice it up a bit. I got a bit of hard dirt, I think, and I was going to throw it off at the ride when we were in the air. So, I did that. It's pretty anticlimactic, to be honest. I didn't really know what to do at that point, and that's when Zach literally started to take off his shoes during the ride. Again. He acted like his shoes fell off somehow, which is pretty much impossible, but I thought it was fun, so I even started doing it as well. But then the ride ended, and the ride operator was furious. He told us that if we did that again, we could get banned from the park, which is understandable. The shoes could have hit someone. I agree what we did was wrong, but Zach did not agree with this guy. Afterwards, he complained about the guy saying that we were just having fun, which we were, but again, that could have hurt someone. But I guess I can see where he's coming from. Anyway, Cuchulainn. We're supposed to go on that. We got on the line with Hydrogen Bob and Abacus, we waited, and when we were literally about to get into the seats, me and Zach were like, you know what, guys, we're just gonna go now. We're not risking dying on this very well protected and tested roller coaster ride, so yeah, bye. We left. We were being chickens, but we didn't care. Anyway, to make a very long story short, we met up with that guy again, drove both Zach and that guy back to their houses, and I got sick on the car ride home. The end, please. This script is like 3 billion years old, please let it in. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. It took a long time to make. It took a whopping 8 days. I don't know how I did that either. It's 8 minutes long. Anyway, before you leave, I guess I would appreciate if you subscribe, since a lot of effort went into this video. Also, only 44% of my viewers are subscribed. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. Bye!